At the green flag, Eric Loveland's 13L breaks out into the lead. Dustin Danke knocking on the door. Loveland on the outside, Danke on the inside. Battle up front for the number 1 spot. Randy Charles, 17th seat in the number 3 spot. Looking to try to go by both of them. Out of the 4th turn for the green flag. Loveland, 13L, your leader. Randy Charles wanting to cure him of that. Rendell in the 06 trying to hold off. The 11B of Dave Wheaton. Dustin Danke looping the 41 car in the 2nd turn. Hey, here comes Johnny on the spot. Chuck Ewing in the 49E car, only 2 laps down. Out of the 4th turn for the re-green. Dave Wheaton getting underneath Bob Rendell, taking away that number 3 spot. Randy Charles looking down low out of the 4th turn, trying to get underneath Eric Loveland. And Mr. Ewing in the 49E car is kind of doing a little dirt deviling. Little boonie banging. Little pilling around in the gravel is what he's doing, actually. Out of the 4th turn, the green comes out. Loveland puts the pedal to the metal. Dave Wheaton, 11B on the outside, trying to get around Charles, 17C car. We got a battle for the lead. Here comes the general up into the number 3 spot. Dustin Danke spins that 41 car again. Randy Charles sneaking underneath, picking up the lead. Dustin Danke still sitting in the middle of the track. Well, not in the middle of the track, he's down low. Randy Charles, 17C, stretching out that interval. Dave Wheaton, 11B, trying to get underneath Loveland to pick up that number 3 spot. Randy Patton bringing the 95 to the front. Well, now I figured out what was causing sparks under that 95 car. The exhaust system coming adrift. We can fix that later, though. Out of the first turn. Randy Charles, your leader. Loveland trying to take back the number 2 spot. Here come the general. Bob Rendell, 06 car, getting up into the number 5 spot. Ten laps down, 5 to go. Randy Charles looking somewhat invincible. Your leader in traffic, coming up behind the 51 car. White flag, 1 lap to go. Watch him out of that 4th turn. Dave Wheaton putting a challenge on for that lead. At the checker, Randy Charles, 17C. Dave Wheaton in the 11 car. Followed by Eric Loveland in the 13L car. The general Randy Patton in the 95 car. Rendell 06 and the 90 of Ken Lynn. All the way from Grayland, Michigan. Let's hear it for him, Randy Charles. Jean-Ann Beebe handing him the trophy.
So it'll be Reynolds in the 410 and Tenbrink in the 22, bringing the field around to the green flag of Tim Beebe. Tenbrink in the Hellbent 22 out front, followed by the 410. Down the back straightaway, diving into the 33-degree banking here at Butler Motor Speedway. Now onto the 19-degree bankway. 1 lap in, it is the 22 of Tenbrink, followed by the 410 of Mark Reynolds. David Grega in 3rd, gets a love tap from the black machine right behind him. Everybody stays straight, puts the hammer down the straightaway. Good move by the 15 as he threads the needle to take the 3rd place. Meanwhile, the 22 of Tenbrink out on a Sunday afternoon drive almost. He's got that car on a string, has got it figured out. Good racing action in the back of the pack, as well as your track champion Eric Wilson trying to weave his way up through the ranks. Another lap completed with Tenbrink still on the point, followed by Reynolds with the 25 of Jim Billett now in 3rd, followed by the 006 of Jacob Rendell. The pack starts to bunch up here for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And the 97 dropping out, going into the pit area, David Grega out of the competition. Meanwhile, the freight train comes down the front straightaway, led by the 25 of Billett. Oh, and the 799 gets hard into the door of Eric Wilson. Meanwhile, the 5R off of the backstretch, back onto the track though. The yellow flag comes out as Eric Wilson goes sailing off of the 33-degree banking off of 3 and 4 of Roy Zimmerman. Back underway in racing. 7 laps down, 8 laps to go. Keep an eye on that 25 as he starts to reel in the 410 of Mark Reynolds. Billet down low, takes a shot at him, brings it back up, flares it down on the straightaway. Hard into the 33-degree banking of the first and second turn, now down the backstretch. Tenbrink still out by a 5-car length lead. Meanwhile, a pack of 4 fighting for second place in a Parts Peddler Street Stock A main. Billet trying everything in his power to get around that 410. He looks high this time. Is going to try the high side on the 410. Can he get the job done? No, he drops back down. Meanwhile, the 0 car of Kevin Nelson entering the fray now, but gets the door slammed on him by the 006. With the 22 car of Paul Tenbrink stretching his lead out, there's still a massive battle for second, third, and fourth. Kevin Nelson still trying to make the run, can't, and now the 799 will blow past both of them, headed down into turn 3, but the 006 of Rendell fights back. And now it's Rendell side by side with the 799, along with the 0 of Kevin Nelson. And Rendell heads for the Treehouse Gang, saves the car and brings it back on track. White flag comes out, 1 more lap to go for the Hellbent 22 of Paul Tenbrink. Checkered flag for Paul Tenbrink in the 22, followed by the 410 of Mark Reynolds, the 25 of Jim Billet, and the 79 Christy Lyons to the front gate, please. Christy Lyons. Paul Tenbrink out of Muskegon, Michigan.
Greg Holman, 68, and Ken Neely, 28. Now you watch that 01. That's I think it's the Pontiac version of the Chevette. Dan Bird puts the 71 car up in the lead. Green flag comes out once again. Chris Schell with a pedal to the metal in the 95 car. Dan Birds, whoa! Harold Wilson in the X00 going for a heck of a ride in that little orange Pinto. See, it got hit and it didn't explode. Ken Neely's 28 car up into the number 3 slot. David Van Treats to the front gate, please. David Van Treats to the front gate. Harold Wilson's 00 pulling off the racing surface. Dave Upson of Galesburg finally making the scoreboard with that 01. Bob Tread Sr. still trying to run down and get around that 95 car. David Cook to the front gate, please. David Cook to the front gate. Bob Tread Sr. takes over that number 1 spot. Bumping Chris Shell into 95 back to the number 2 spot. Dave Upson goes down a lap as your leader. Flies on by. Ken Neely having a little bit of problem with the course in the waning laps of this Knuckles Malone's Auto Sales Friday night special. White flag out for your leader, Bob Tread Sr. At the checker, Bob Tread Sr. in the 73 car. Your winner, followed by the 95 of Chris Shell. The 28 of Ken Neely. The 06 of Dave Passanay and the 01 car of Dave Upson.
Vanderwoody and Tarleton on the front row. Keep an eye on that 25 of Bub Patrick. A good strong car as well, along with that 17 of Steve Fowler. Can't rule out Sherman back here, a seasoned veteran in that 65 machine. Coming down to the green flag of Tim Beebe, and we're underway in racing. 15 hard laps on the high bank of Butler Motor Speedway during the 23rd annual Dealer's Choice. It will be Tarleton first, but he's going to be challenged down low going into 3 by Vanderwoody in the 33. Back in the pack, Sherman tied in the pack of 4 or 5 cars as they string out single file. Meanwhile, the Memorial 9:11:01 machine of Roger Gooden making a strong run down the back straightaway, getting past the 25 of Bub Patrick. Patrick sideways again, the car almost acting like a 4-link out there. Being challenged by the 17 of Steve Fowler. Meanwhile, it's Tarleton in the blue and white 17, still leading the pack. Back in the back, that's where all the racing action is they're dicing back and forth for position in this 15-lapper. Sponsored by Sweet Manufacturing. Rolling up into the high banks again, the 33-degree banking. Vanderwoody stabs the throttle, and now we got a spin up in turn 1 and 2. Contact with the 25 of Bud Patrick. The yellow will come out. We're back underway. Green flag comes out. Tarleton and Vanderwoody. And now the 72 car of Dan Borgman out of nowhere comes up through the field and is fourth. Followed by the 5 and then the 65 of Todd Sherman. It's Vanderwoody. Then Gooden. Still being challenged by Borgman in the 92. In the 72, I should say. Flat flying down through the straightaway, up onto the high banks and down the backstretch. Vanderwoody still getting it cocked sideways, can hold on to second, but a blanket over the next 3 cars. And you gotta wonder what kind of adhesive they use for that American flag that flies atop of the 5B. We're at the halfway mark. And Tarleton way out front, almost a 12-car lead. They had all kinds of problems with that car yesterday, and they finally got it sorted out through hot lap practices later this afternoon. Vanderwoody still holds down second, being challenged by the 9:11:01 car, Roger Gooden. Borgman looks to the inside of Gooden, can't get the job done, drifts back in, and now a 3, they get together. Everyone backpedals out. Good driving and sportsmanship on the parts of the drivers. .25 dropping out of the contest. That's Bub Patrick. The race is still for second, third, fourth, and fifth, as Tarleton has checked out of the field with 12 laps completed. Vanderwoody solidly in second. Gooden with a spin up on the top of turn 2, and the yellow will come out, and that gigantic lead of Tarleton diminishes to the size of a paperclip. It's going to be a 3-lap shootout now. Tarleton's lead all the way eliminated. See if anything can happen here, if Vanderwoody has got anything for Tarleton, with Gooden in hot pursuit. Todd Sherman now rolls into fifth, chasing down the 72 of Borgman. The white flag comes out for Indiana's Mike Tarleton. Just ahead of the Door, Michigan driver, Vanderwoody. Checkered flag for Tarleton, followed by Vanderwoody. The 9:11:01 car of Roger Gooden. Finishing fourth officially in the 72, Dan Borgman.
Yellow flag come out. Jeff Rankin in the 4F. And they're off once again. Sean Robinson, 0W, leading them around. Ken Mackey, perpetual track champion here. Several years in a row in the number 2 spot. Doug Zimmerman getting a little loose with a 19 car. Yellow flag coming out. Bob Jones 55 car sitting the inside of the 3-4 turn combination. Tonight, congratulate him on his 41st birthday. Ken Mackey gets passed by Charlie Baker for that number 2 spot. Doug Zimmerman up high, gathers it back in before coming to grief. Right about mid-pack with that 19 car. Ken Mackey bicycling down the back chute. We got Charlie Baker off the 4th turn, and we got somebody else off the back chute. Out of the 4th turn for the restart, Sean Robinson continuing to show him the short way around. I want you to look at them in the offices of those race cars. They are really working hard. Hard to keep these lightweight, high horsepower cars pointed straight. Karen Beebe or Jeremy Beer to the front gate. Ken Mackey in 3rd position, but the traffic is starting to queue up behind him. Bob Jones, 91, up in the number 5 slot. Zero W and the 31 car of Chuck Wilson, both of them pulling a Houdini on the rest of the pack. Last call, 50-50. Chuck Wilson still trying to run down and get around the 0W car of Sean Robinson. White flag, 1 lap to go. B, Ronnie Beal, real hot brake rotor. At the checker, Sean Robinson taking it. Bob Tomes doing a few wheelies with the 91 car. Picking up his souvenir dealer's choice flag and trophy. And congratulations from Gene and Beebe. Let's hear it for your winner, Sean Robinson.
Here we go. 15 laps. Rendell on the point. Green flag comes out. But it'll be the 68 of Buddy Head. This is another one of those cars that had a lot of trouble earlier in the dealer's choice, and they've been thrashing on this car as well, and finally got it dialed in. Check out the battle for second and third now between the 04 of Wade Witherspoon along with the 06 of Rendell. Way up high, gathers it back in, has to get out of the throttle, rolls on down, gets it back on the track. The green stays out. Rendell again being challenged down the backstretch. It's a side-by-side, door handle to door handle battle. Rendell outguns him out through turn 4 down the front straightaway. Wade Witherspoon putting on a valiant battle here, and Rendell goes flying off towards the Treehouse gang. And the yellow will come out. Rendell drew a bead on the Treehouse gang over there off of turn 2. Buddy Head brings them back around. A freight train of Pro Stocks coming at you. Bob Hammer losing his position now to the number 1 of Joe Durbeck. He gains it back, however. The hunt for the win starting to get interesting now down the backstretch. It is the 04 of Witherspoon taking the high side. Meanwhile, the yellow has to come out for another spin. Spreads a little charm on the 68 of Buddy Head. And now it's up to the 04 once again of Wade Witherspoon to see if he can outgun his competitor. Off of the first and second turn now. The 21 of Bob Hammer. Still 10 laps to go. a fleet of 7 still out there to pick up the win, looking for the checkered flag. And it's going to be a challenge now with the number 1 of Joe Durbeck getting into the fray. Look at that move on the outside by Witherspoon. Oh, and he took it in a little bit too hard. Everyone threads the needle beyond him. What a great effort that almost paid off for Wade Witherspoon in the 04. Still the 68, Buddy Head coming down for the green flag, being challenged by the 1 of Joe Durbeck. Durbeck takes a peek on the inside, lets it drift up on the second turn, down the back straightaway. Here comes Witherspoon. He clips off 1, going after another. It's bumper to bumper between 1 and 2 cars. The 68 and the 1. Durbeck looks to the outside, takes the high banks around, tries the outside, puts the hammer down at the halfway mark. Witherspoon now in 5th place, trying to reel in the 94 of Chris Smith. You can almost throw a blanket over the top 5 cars now. Are they putting on a race or what? And these are only the pro stocks, ladies and gentlemen. Wait till the late models get out here. Outside pass attempt again, coming out of turn 4, can't get the job done. Reels right back onto the Nerf bar of the 68. Buddy Head still holding off valiant efforts by the 1 of Joe Durbeck. Here comes Witherspoon on the outside again to make a pass past the 94. Down the back straightaway, 4 laps left. He's going for 3rd. Look at him come out of turn 4 again on the outside. The yellow flag. Slows down action once again for the 42 of Brad Kendall and Wade Witherspoon. $350 in a 50-50, and Witherspoon now goes into 2nd. He's coming back from the back of the pack. 13 laps in. He's going to go for the win now. Will he try it on the outside? No, he tucks down low. Can't get the job done. The door gets slammed shut by the 68 of Buddy Head. They're coming down to the white flag lap. It's Head and Witherspoon. Witherspoon to the high side, going into the high banks of turn 1. Way up high. And now it's a 3-car battle. 3 cars wide down the back straightaway. It's anybody's race. Side by side, door handle at the finish line. It'll be the 68 of Buddy Head, followed by Witherspoon, and the number 1 of Joe Durbeck.
Out of the 4th turn, Tim's got the green flag in his hand, and they're off. Everybody getting through the 1st and 2nd turn clean. Brad Urbach in the 6 car grabbing the lead, followed by the 17F of Steve Fowler. Link Stevens in the 80 car in the number 4 spot. In 5th, the 13 car of Willard Van Eitzma. Todd Pfeiffer running third. Dan Van Heetsma trying to bring the 5V up from the 6th position. Getting tangled up behind Link Stevens in that 80 machine. Five laps down, 10 to go. Link Stevens gets loose. Does a 180 and a half in between the third and fourth turn. Make that first and second. Green flag once again. Brad Urbach, your leader. Todd Pfeiffer in third, looking for second. Not quite close enough to get the job done. Van Heetsma in the 5V up challenging. Heavy traffic out of that fourth turn. Todd Pfeiffer pulling up into the lead with the 21 car. Sparks fly. Brad Urbach has hurt that number 6 car. He feels it. He's pulling off. I lied. He doesn't feel it, but he knows it's slowing down. Todd Pfeiffer, 21, your leader, checking out. The 17F of Steve Fowler in the number 2 spot. Followed by the 11 car of Scott Gaff. Whoops, he gets passed by the 13 car of Willard Van Heetsma. Now Urbach pulls the 6 car out. Door to door, 17 and 13. Talk about threading a needle. 13 almost got whacked front and back simultaneously. Out of 4 for the green flag. Todd Pfeiffer, your leader, followed by the 17 of Steve Fowler. Bob Patrick, 25 car in the number 3 slot. White flag coming out this time around. Todd Pfeiffer still pacing the field. Challenge for the number 2 spot as the checker comes out. Todd Pfeiffer takes it. Followed by the 17F car of Steve Fowler. And the 25 car of Bob Patrick.
they come down to the starter flag of Tim Beebe. They're underway in racing. And the Zabonic Concrete 15 lap. Friday night special, the 67 of Scott Bailey out on a charge. Take a look at the Mountain Dew crew coming down through turn 4. The 19 of Doug Zimmerman putting on a whale of a show. Dirt track racing action at its best. The Outlaw Wing Sprints here at Butler Motor Speedway. Slamming those cars into a sideway drift into the high banks on the 3/8 mile. It's still the 67 of Bailey leading the pack of 400 horsepower Wing Warriors. Plus another 300 horsepower on top of that. Keep an eye on the Mountain Dew crew. Doug Zimmerman trying to reel in the 67 of Scott Bailey. 700 horsepower of Outlaw Wing Sprint car action now. Down into turn 1 and 2. Great action in the back of the pack for 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th as well. The 0 car, Sean Robinson, having mechanical problems, dropping down into the safety of the infield. 6 laps down, 7 laps down now, with 8 laps to go. Check out the battle there for 3rd place and 4th. Side-by-side action. It doesn't get any better than this. At the halfway mark, it's still the 67 of Scott Bailey being trailed by Doug Zimmerman. Then in 3rd, the 7 of Jim Swain now being challenged and overtaken by the 16C of Greg Wheeler. Chuck Wilson now in 5th in the 31 machine. Lap traffic could become an element in this 15 lapper as the 2 leaders are coming up on the tail end of the field. It's still Bailey, and a yellow flag comes out. For the 3B of Ronnie Beal. Bailey, Zimmerman, and Wheeler, your top 3. Laps completed, only 2 more laps to go. A good charge by Zimmerman, but he couldn't get the job done in the Mountain Dew machine. Coming down to the white flag, it's still Bailey holding off Zimmerman as a power drive down into 1 and 2. The 16 of Wheeler still in 3rd, coming around the final corner of this 15 lapper. It will be Bailey in the 67, followed by Zimmerman and Wheeler. 1, 2, 3. Chuck Wilson finishes 4th with the 8 of Corey Brevard rounding out the top 5. 34 years of age. Out of the car, put your hands together for Scott Bailey.
Situation in a flurry. Flurry, that's my own contraction. That means a flying hurry. That's a flurry. Bernard on the inside, Wilbur on the outside. Yellow flag coming out. Tim not liking the lineup at all. And Bernard putting the 73 out in front of Wilbur. Wilbur making a move on the inside. Friday Night Special, sponsored by Martin Spring and Drive. And Bernard still leading around. Wilbur in the 0 car in the number 2 spot. Well, Tim Bernard, 73B, your leader. Dennis Lynn Jr. in the 09 car inheriting the lead as the green comes out once again. 2 laps down, 13 to go. Link Stevens in the 80 car in the number 2 spot. George Lindsay, 49 in 3rd. Jerry Schroff off, up over the berm, back on again. Wilbur sliding high. Terry Schroff getting by underneath. Wilbur 0W off the racing surface towards the pits. Dennis Lynn Jr. in the 09 car, your leader. Bob Dolly in the 3 car trying to get past George Lindsay in the 49 car to pick up that number 3 spot. Six laps in, 9 to go. Dennis Lynn out for a Friday night cruise all by himself. Link Stevens about 2 Greyhound bus lengths behind. Gary Schroff having all sorts of problems with that 12S car. He had the tail out. He was almost up over the berm. Halfway, your starter signal. Link Stevens in the 80 car, unable to close the distance between himself and the hard-charging Mopar of Dennis Lynn. Bob Dolly still trying to get that 3 car up into the number 3 spot. George Lindsay being patently uncooperative. Fred Wendell in the 2 car continuing to hold off the 12S car of Terry Schroff. White flag next time around for Danny Lynn, your leader. Almost a full straightaway lead with the big Mopar as the white flag comes out. At the stripe for the win in the 09 car, Denny Lynn Jr., followed by Link Stevens in the 80 car. George Lindsay, 49. Bob Dolly in the 3 car, the 2 car of Fred Wennell, and the 12S car of Terry Srove. Picking up a dealer's choice flag, a trophy, and congratulations from the lovely Jean Ann Beebe.